Yeah, you know, I'm just. Yeah,
There's
there's not a lot of time to go over this. If I got to figure out where I'm gonna what I'm gonna hold you
post it on
responsible and
Blackboard,
not
or?
hold you
Oh,
responsible.
okay.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Let me show you the models. I'm not going to worry about the Punnett squares and the PTC and the karyotype stuff. So we'll just go through the models.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not going to worry about it now. You may see it. You may see it on a different practical, but I'm just. Yeah, I gotta. This kind of sucks. But anyway, all right. So here we go. This is interface. Okay. This is the chromatin that's in the inside there. That's the nucleolus. All that stuff. This is starting to be prophase. This would be prophase 1, since we're talking about meiosis. You're starting to see the individual chromosomes. The nuclear envelope is starting to break down. This is further along in prophase. Okay. These little guys here, if you recall back to MP1, those are the centrioles, and they spread out and they form this thing called the mitotic spindle. This is still further along in prophase. Notice that what you have happening, or starting to happen, is the pairs of chromosomes line up together, and you get the crossing over that's occurring over there. So this is still just prophase. So and you don't have to tell me early, middle, or late, but this is prophase, that's prophase, that's prophase, and that's prophase.
So the first 4.
The first 4, and they're all prophase 1. Okay. And this is actually showing you the crossing over.
Right.
Down here is metaphase 1. The pairs line up together. This is anaphase 1. The chromosome pairs are pulled apart. This is telophase 1. Over here represents anaphase 2. In anaphase 2, they split the chromosomes. They split them along the centromere so that the chromatids go to separate ends. So this is anaphase 2, and then over here, this is telophase 2. Okay? So remember, meiosis, you start with one mother cell with 46 chromosomes, and by the end, you get 4 daughter cells that have 23 chromosomes each. All right. Other things, stages of embryonic development. This little guy here would be the oocyte at fertilization. Okay, you can see the sperm has made its way through the cell membrane, but you haven't had syngamy yet, where the actual chromosome, where the nuclei of the sperm and the nuclei of the egg unite. All right, so not until that happens do you consider it a zygote. So this is what we call the oocyte at fertilization. When it gets fertilized, it becomes the zygote. This is after the zygote has undergone 1 cell division, so this is called the 2-cell stage. There's 2 cells. This is the 4-cell stage. This is the, I guess, 8-cell stage. Okay. This model is supposed to pretend that this is solid on the inside. What would you call this? This is the morula. This over here is the blastocyst. This is the trophoblast on the outside, and then the yellow stuff on the inside is the inner cell mass. What else can I tell you? The yolk sac, when you get to this model, looks kind of like this. This is this model's kind of weird because the color's sort of off, but this part in the middle is the bilaminar disc. That's what's actually going to become the embryo. This thing that's in yellow, that you'd really like to say that's the yolk sac, because that's what they always color, that's actually the amniotic cavity on this model, because the amniotic cavity always is closer to the wall. So that's actually the amniotic cavity. This, which is kind of reddish, is actually the yolk sac. Oh. I know it kind of sucks with the colors they chose, but that's what happens. One other thing I want to show you real quick, just from someone's book. Who has a book they can show me? There's one image of the placenta that you should know. I'll just show you that quickly. Wherever it is. Let's see here. It's kind of weird sound. Okay. Okay. I can tell you that there's going to be a picture on the exam similar to this, because unfortunately we don't have a model of this, but you know, make sure you study this picture here. You know, note that there's the fetal side that contains the chorionic villi, then there's the maternal side that's mostly made up of the endometrium. All of the arteries and veins from the chorionic villi converge and they become the umbilical cord. And if you look in the umbilical cord, just like you saw in the fetal pic, there's going to be 2 umbilical arteries and 1 umbilical vein. Okay. All right. I think that's all I want to say. I'm just going to have to figure out some other way to get the information. And so for the lab practical, kills me to say this, but don't worry about these things for the lab practical. We'll cover them at some other point. Okay?
Thank
All
you.
right.